Hello students, welcome to our channel. Today we will continue from our last video, that is PHP with MySQL. In today's video we will go through some more practical examples and how to use while loop and for loop. So let's start. How to use for loop. Here we have considered one example. Here the function is used MySQLi underscore num underscore rows, which will count the number of rows available in $result. $result is the resultant variable that holds the temporary result of select query, and it will assign the new temporary record to $num. Next, for loop is used. It will start with 0 and then will continue iterations up to $num. $num is the temporary variable that holds the integer value, the number of records available in $result, and next is increment $i plus plus. Next we are using MySQLi underscore fetch underscore row function, which will fetch a single record of $result and assign it to a $row variable. Next we are printing records, but here we are using $row variable, and the index based retrieval is used. Here $row of 0 is the first column, $row of 1 is the second column, and so on. Sample code 1. Here the entire example is given from the very first video: how to create connection, how to select database, how to process query, and then we are using for loop in our practical example. So let's go through the whole example. Very first PHP tag is started, then MySQL underscore connect function is used to create the connection. Here two arguments are passed, localhost and root, and the password is blank. Next function is selection of database. So the function is MySQLi underscore select underscore db. Two parameter needs to be passed. One is connection link and second is the name of database that you want to operate on. Or if any connection error occurs, the die function will execute and it will stop the execution of PHP script. It is equivalent of exit function. Next is, here we are using select query, so it will select employee number, employee name, salary from EMP table, and here one more order by clause is used. The sorting order is ascending, and then it will sort the data based on employee name column. So it is like sorting data from A to Z. If it is descending, then sorting will be of descending order, that is from Z to A. Next, MySQL underscore query function is used to execute any SQL statement. So two arguments need to be passed. One is connection variable, that is $con, and second is $query variable that holds our select query. Or if any error occurs, die function will execute. Next is $num equals to MySQL underscore num underscore rows, which will count the number of rows the select query will return. For example, if there are 5 records and select query will retrieve 5 records, then $number variable will hold 5. If there are 10 records in employee table, the $num variable will hold the number 10. It will hold the integer value. Next we are printing these records. Echo table tag is used. For loop is used. $i equals to 0 till it will iterate up to $i less than $num variable, and then $i plus plus. Next is $row equals to MySQL underscore fetch underscore row of $result. The function MySQL underscore fetch underscore row is used to execute or used to fetch a single row of record from $result variable, and it will assign that single record data to $row variable. Now we are printing the records from $row array variable, and here index is given though, so the retrieval of array data is given index based. You can pass either index or column index, or you can pass even column name also. So $row of 0 is the first column, $row of 1 is second column, and $row of 2 is third column of $result variable, which ultimately holds the employee table data. And last, for loop is terminated. Echo table tag is terminated, and then MySQL underscore close function is used to close the connection. In sample code 2, it will the whole code remains same. The only difference between sample code 1 and sample code 2 is in above example, we have used for loop, and the retrieval of $row array variable is indexed based, while in sample code 2 we are using while loop and the retrieval of data is based on column name. So in previous example where we were about to give $row of 0, here we are passing $row of employee number. $row of 0 or $employee number, both are same. You can retrieve the data based on column index also or column name also. Second is $row of employee name, and third is row of salary. Last table take is deprecated, and last MySQL close connection is closed. Both example generate the same output. The only difference is where in sample code 1 we were fetching records based on array index, while in sample code 2 we were fetching records based on column name. Next is while loop. So let's see how it works. Very first, while keyword is used, then in bracket we are using MySQL underscore fetch underscore array function. Again it will fetch a single record of $result variable, and the whole row will be assigned to $row variable. So now in the next statement, wherever you want to print or wherever you want to access records, you have to use $row instead of $result variable. So next we are printing echo $row of employee number, $row of employee name, and $row of salary. The whole loop will continue to iterate until the last record are found. Next step. Till now we have seen how to create connection with MySQL, then how to select database, how to process a query, how to fetch result, and we have seen a generalized format of select query, that is static value. For example, if I am saying select all the records where roll number is 5, here I have given the 5, so I am using static query. But what about if user want to pass value to select query, that is dynamic query? For example, let's say if user want to show all the employees data, but the name should be provided by user, then you need to pass the value to a select query. And how it works, let's see. Here $value equals to $post of value list. Post of value list is the text box, or let's say drop down list box name, and whatever user will enter into that, it will store in $value. So now $value variable will hold the value, and we can pass it into select statement. Next is $query equals to select star from employee where salary is greater than $value. $value variable's value is given by user. Let's explain this practically. For example, if we want to generate an output, something look like this, where enter a salary value is given by user. As soon user provide one salary value, let's say for example 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000, and as soon as the user will click on submit query, the query will be executed, and that value entered by user will pass to the select query. So how it will work in coding? Here the HTML code is given. Enter a salary value, input type equals to text, and consider and mark the text box name. Here we have given text value. So next in PHP script, you have to give statement like $sal. $sal is temporary variable that holds the salary value. You can take any name as you want. $cell equals to $post of text value. Next, $query equals to select star from emp. Emp is the table name where salary greater than $cell. So the entire query forms something like this. This will execute, this will retrieve all the employees data whose salary is above user given salary. For example, if user is given 5,000, then this query will fetch the all records of those employees whose salary is above 5,000 or 10,000 or 15,000, whatever given by user. The whole PHP script, the whole PHP code is given. PHP tag is started, $cell equals to $post of text value. Text value is the name of text, name of the input box or text box that we have taken in our previous HTML code. Next, connection code is given, $con equals to MySQL underscore connect, and required arguments will be passed or die function will execute. Next, you have to mention the database you want to work upon. Next is the query. Let's see the query. $query equals to select employee number, employee name, salary from employee table where salary is greater than $cell. Here $cell is the variable that holds the user given value, user inputted value. Next, we are executing this query. So MySQL underscore query function is used. Two arguments should be passed. One is connection link variable, that is $con, and the second query variable that holds our select query, or die function will execute it. Next, we are printing this record and using while loop. It will work the same we have seen in previous slide. While $row equals to MySQL underscore fetch underscore row of $result echo of echo $row of $0. Row of 0 is the first column, row of 1 is second column, and $row of 2 is the third column. And then in last, table tag is deprecated and connection is closed. The output will be something like this. It will fetch all the employees record whose salary is above user given salary. So for example, if user have given 2,000, so here in the output all records have salary above 2,000. Employee number column is given, employee name and salary. Let's see one more practical example. Here we are let's consider one more example. In this example, user can select one of the value instead of entering value. So ultimately we are giving a drop down list box among multiple values user can select one value. The output is look something like this. Choose the salary value, then drop down list box is there and the submit button. As soon as user will select any one value among the given value and click on the submit button, the query will execute and it will generate an output accordingly. The code for that, in HTML code we have to give select tag and option value. Here three options will be given. You can give as many you want, and as in the last select tag is over, then $cell equals to $post of value list. $cell equals to $post of value list. Value list is the name of select control. Next we are using query. So the query is $query equals to select star from employee where salary greater than $cell. $cell is the temporary variable that holds the user selected value. It can be either 24,000, 28,000 or 32,000, whatever user selects. PHP code is given, PHP tag is started, $sign equals to $post of value list. Next connection code is given, then selection of database, and now we are executing query. $query equals to select employee number, employee name, salary from employee table, where salary is greater than user selected value. So we are providing user with three values: 24,000, 28,000 and 32,000. Whatever user will select, the query will execute and it will fetch the records of all employees whose salary is above user selected values. And next we are executing the query. So MySQL underscore query function is used for that. Two arguments should be passed. One is connection link variable $con, and second the variable that holds our query. Here it is $query. And next we are using while loop. While $row equals to MySQL underscore fetch underscore row of $result, this loop will continue to iterate until it found the next record, and as soon after it will find last record, the loop will be terminated and will stop further iteration. Echo $row of 0. $row of 0 is, as mentioned above, is the first column. $row of 1 is second column, and so on. Echo tag, table tag is deprecated, and last we are closing the connection with function MySQL underscore close with one argument, that is $con variable. So till now, from first video to our second video, we have seen the whole MySQL functions, but the main SQL functions you need to use is the MySQL underscore connect function, that is used to connect the your PHP script to the MySQL. Next is select a database. The function is MySQL underscore select underscore DB. Function is used to select the database that you want to work on. Next is run a query. Whatever query you want to execute, it can either be select query, insert query, update query, or delete query. Next is processing a query. If it is a select query, then only you have a retrieval of data. If it is insert, update, or delete query, you don't have result to retrieve. And the last, to close the connection, MySQL underscore close function is used. Okay, so thanks, and you can comment below for any doubt, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you, students.